Okay, so today we are going to be going over histograms. They are very similar to bar graphs, which you should be familiar with, but we will go over the differences as we go through the notes. So a histogram is a special type of bar graph used to show the frequency of data using equivalent intervals. So frequency is the number of times something happens, and intervals is a span of numbers, so like 0 to 4 is an interval. In a histogram, there's no space between the bars to show the data is continuous because you're not counting by an individual number, and instead you're using intervals. It's supposed to make it flow more nicely. When making an interval, or when making a histogram, data should be divided into intervals. Each interval should have the same number of values in it. So 0 to 4 has 5 numbers in it, 5 to 9 has 5 numbers in it, and 10 to 14 has 5 numbers in it. So that's an example of intervals. Each bar in a histogram shows the frequency. So like I said, how many times something happens. And in a histogram, the bars must be the same width. It's to keep it visually equal. To create a bar graph, you start with creating the intervals. Then you sort the data into each interval. Mark the axes. Then you draw your bars to represent the frequency. Remember, the bars must touch and be the same width. Finally, label all parts of the histogram, and then you're done. Okay, I left the steps in the corner so we can use them as we go, and we're going to be doing the example shown. So they gave you the intervals for this question, like I said before, 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, and 15 to 19. They all have 5 numbers within the interval. So now you need to count as we go. How many numbers are between 0 and 4? There are 3. How many numbers are between 5 and 9? There are 4. How many numbers are between 10 and 14? There are 6. And finally, 15 and 19. There are 7. So that's step 2. Step 3 is having your bar graph and marking your axes. The bottom is your intervals, the number of minutes, and the side is your frequency. Because none of the numbers were excessively large frequencies, I counted by ones. After that, you're going to be drawing the bars to represent each frequency. So what should the 0 to 4 bar reach? You go up to 3. 5 to 9 should reach 4. 10 to 14 should reach 6. And 15 to 19 should reach 7. Next, and the last part, is labeling. So the bottom is labeled the number of minutes, and the side is labeled frequency for how many times each occurred. And just like any bar graph, a histogram needs a title, so it is put at the top. Okay, so now that you know how to create a histogram, we have to be able to read a histogram. So, for example, how many students read 2 or less books over the summer? How many students read more than 5 books over the summer? And how many students were asked in all? And you can find that by adding up the total frequency of each section. So adding up all the bars. Finally, what is the most popular season? How many students like spring or winter? And the challenge question is, how many more students like summer than fall? And you are done. Good job.